This is the third trip of 3. We're just leaving the hotel in the Wicklow Mountains. The first trip was from the dealership to the new supercharger, 8 Bay supercharger.
8 Bay, yeah, Ballycolla.
The Topaz filling station.
Yep, on the way to Cork.
So we took a Model X P100D.
Yeah, slow.
Yeah, sluggish.
Ridiculous.
Handbrake was stuck on.
Yeah. Peugeot 206 would have it.
Definitely. So it was an interesting trip, but it was a little dull probably on the motorway.
Yeah.
But we did manage to explore the performance envelope on the 0 to 60 time, and it lived up to everything. It's a big heavy car obviously, but it doesn't feel like it. It does feel a big roomy car, but it's pretty stunning performance.
What, white leather?
White leather.
In blue jeans we were.
Well, we will want to test these things fully.
It's not our car.
No, indeed. So we had a quick sandwich at the 8-stall charger, and then we got into 90D Model S.
Before we got into the 90D, just a point on the X that became apparent when we got into the 90D S was there was no autopilot.
Ah, yeah.
In the Model X.
The Model X had no autopilot; it had been disabled. Not even adaptive cruise.
No, nothing. Which is part of the autopilot package.
Yeah.
Which we were disappointed with, because driving down the motorway, we just thought we'd have a wee snooze on the way to Ballycolla.
Yeah.
But no autopilot. But thankfully it was on in the Model S, as you say. We got into it.
So we'll put a screen grab up here of the Model X or the Model S autopilot, the beta agreement you have to do as you turn it on. But we were pretty impressed with that, I think.
Very much so, especially because it was not a motorway down to the hotel in the Model S. It was down back roads like...
Yeah, not even good A roads. They were pretty back roads. Oh.
And we missed the turning.
Missed the turn, yeah. Well, we have the sat-nav voice turned off, but we have noticed during the trip that the sat-nav's a little laggy. You're sometimes just passing a junction as it's telling you to turn. As well as the Google Maps sat-nav on the big 17-inch screen, you have a proper GPS based sat-nav in the binnacle, so whenever you're out of 3G or 4G service, at least you have some sort of a backup. So where were we? The 90D rather. It wasn't a performance model, it was a 90D. The price was a bit shocking.
Yeah, in the glove box, is there a thing in this here? In the glove box there was a laminated sheet telling you the spec of the car.
So here we are, this is the third car we're in, so we're currently in a P100D.
P100D Model S. So the Model X, we never saw the price of the Model X, so we'd be frightened to look at it.
No, I think it's €169,000 down here, isn't it?
Ouch,
No,
yeah.
So the 90D, the non-performance 90D Model S that we're in, was 112,000 sterling before incentives.
Correct,
yep.
Yes.
And the one that we're in presently, the Model S P100D, looks like 145,000.
That's after.
That's after incentives. Yeah, so it's actually £150,330. And they threw us the keys. Yeah. So, bonkers.
150,000.
So we've driven 300-400 grand's worth of cars today.
Yep.
I have to say that it's a rarefied atmosphere up here. It's not very realistic price. We've loved the tech. The tech probably was what brought us to our interest in Tesla before the whole EV and green issues.
Which isn't, the EV issues aren't really, well, it is an issue in terms of being green and sustainable energy and things like that. But the whole range thing just isn't the problem in this. We drove about today, we drove to a supercharger, we drove to a destination charger at the hotel there.
We didn't
need to use them.
Yeah.
But that was just a demonstration of the tech.
Yeah. So I drive a Leaf and it's 85 miles real world range, and I do 7 miles to work and 7 miles back, 14 miles a day. So 85 miles gets me almost a full week's commute, 4 days maybe to be safe. But you could really jump into this car and head from Dublin to Cork and not be worrying about.
Yeah, this is nearly getting down towards 60% battery left. So it's used 40-45% of the battery, and still 180 miles left on range.
And we haven't been hanging about.
No, we have not been hanging about.
So good pointer of the future. Obviously, the Model 3 is what we're all interested in. It's going to bring this to the, not quite the masses, but bring it to maybe more like a BMW 3 Series customer. Although exchange rate since since Brexit's announcement has made things more difficult there. The dollar.
The best I think we can hope for is $35,000 will be minimum £35,000.
Yeah,
and up.
Elon said that most people will spend, I think it was further $7,000 in options. So let's say.
But the £40,000 tax situation in the UK is gonna. He's going to have to come up with special deals at $39,995 or something.
Yeah, still a lot of money. It's an expensive car, but it really is. There's nothing to compare to it. 5 years on, where are Tesla's competitors? Everyone's announcing what they're going to bring, and VW are going to have 30 new EV models or whatever it is.
In years, like 2020,
yeah.
It's
2018, 2019, 2020. It's all coming.
The I-Pace is the only one that's really, in theory, close.
Yeah, and it's second half of 2018.
Yeah.
It's the Jaguar, but that's about 60 grand up.
Well, nobody knows yet. It remains to be seen. We'll find out. But in terms of the cost of this, it is at the very, very expensive end.
Yeah.
As a car, if you're spending that much money in a car, you have to look at this.
Yeah.
But whilst we haven't, in the 3 cars we've had, we haven't had a creak.
There's no squeaks or rattles.
Like, people complain about squeaks and rattles and poor finish. It definitely doesn't squeak or rattle, the ones that we've been in, albeit they're 2017 models. But the finish is just a little touch
poor.
Well, I wouldn't even say poor. It's just not of a £150,000 car.
It's not even of a £30,000 Audi A4, I would say.
No, but it's not bad. It's not an absolute. I think it's not an absolute disaster. But
it's not a disaster, no. But it's definitely not what you'd expect at these bonkers prices. You're a Maserati driver here, or you're a Range Rover driver, or whatever you are. And
so the fit and finish isn't really there for the price of the car.
No.
But everything else, the performance, there's nothing touches it.
Yeah.
Absolutely nothing touches it.
I've never been thrown back in the seat in any car like I have been today. Or misses. But you know what I mean? Every time we get a clear bit of road here and you can hit it in a minute, but it is just everything.
And it's far worse in the passenger seat. I've been in the passenger seat when Mark's driving, Mark's been in it when I'm driving. When you're in the driver's seat, you know what to expect.
Brace yourself.
But when you're in the passenger seat, whenever the loud pedal's pressed, it's not even allowed, the quiet pedal's pressed. It's
whiplash.
Stomach churning.
Yeah, it is. You actually said earlier it was you felt
nauseous. Yeah.
Earlier on, because the acceleration it's a bit like a roller coaster. That's why
that's exactly it.
As close as you could come.
In terms of road holding, but for a big car, big heavy car,
yep.
Albeit with, as you were saying, the weight distribution is very good with front to back and low.
Yeah. So you're paying a big penalty on overall weight, obviously, but you're getting a good advantage in that really low centre of gravity. No engine, everything down low. The motor's down low, the battery's obviously down low. So
it's 50-50 weight distribution, isn't it?
50-50, and all the cars we've driven today have been 4-wheel drive, they're all dual motor.
Yeah, it's a pity we didn't get the test two-wheel drive just to see, because all the cars have been very sure-footed, especially the S.
Yeah, really sure-footed. And that previous car we drove today, the non-performance, the 90D, was incredible. I think it's only 400 and something horsepower.
471 brake horsepower.
Only 470 horsepower. Dear me. What's this thing? We're like 700 in these.
On the laminated sheet, here's one we've prepared earlier. Is it on it? I think it's 700 brake horsepower for the P100D.
I can't see performance.
Yeah, just the price. You don't need to know the brake horsepower.
It's around 700, I think, isn't it? Yeah. And then the old Newton meters of torque figures.
Over 1,000, isn't it?
It's bonkers, yeah. So what have we learned? We need to win the lottery, probably. That's the.
I would have one tomorrow if it was in the market to that sort of money.
Yeah. I think you looked up the ownership in Northern Ireland for. Is there 6 Teslas in Northern Ireland?
There's six officially registered Teslas on the that was by December 2016 on the Department of Transport statistics site. How sad am I?
They're nearly all P100s or P90s or.
Yeah, well, I looked across the UK and I was expecting to see the S60 and the 75 to be high up there, but no, they were the smaller numbers. The P90D and the P100D made up the vast majority of the S's, which I suppose if you're spending 110,000 on a 90D or a P90 or P100D, you know, another 50 grand. Sure, what's another 50%? So
if you're at that level, it's.
But have to say, fundamentally loved it. The Tesla have been very good today with the.
Been very good to us. Yeah.
Throwing the keys, just say away you go.
Yeah, that's been powerful. So
if you're caught speeding, you're
responsible.
You're responsible. So we haven't.
We haven't been speeding, obviously. No. So we're heading back now, just through the Wicklow Mountains, back to the Dublin showroom. The dealership opened officially last night. They had 450 guests.
Yeah.
450 people. They've been having these press days for about a week now.
From Monday, yeah.
Yeah, this is the final day. The cars are all UK cars. They're
all going back to England tonight.
I think they said 5 UK press cars, and they've borrowed some from marketing. A lot of cars over here, and did runs last night, but we got to drive them today. So, summing up,
would you?
Absolutely. Yeah.
And we're not. I suppose you can say we're kind of a wee bit of fanboys, but it is just a really sure-footed, solid, do-everything car that is a tad pricey.
Yeah.
A tad. It is majorly pricey. We're hoping that the Model 3, we'll try and get one of those whenever they do land, but the model to test, but we're hoping the Model 3 will be 50-60% of this experience.
Yeah,
with maybe the performance.
I think it could be 70 or 80% of this.
Well, here's hoping. Obviously, without this level of performance, they won't let it have this level of performance. But the experience is the silence. I mean, that's the thing we're saying about the acceleration. You know, that you get in an Aventador or something else that's trying to get close to this.
Yeah.
You're putting on launch control. You've got gears or possibly floppy paddles, and you're fighting with it, and it's all over the show. I mean, earlier on there, we were on loose stones, and you accelerate, the wheels didn't even spin.
No.
It just backed off the power and went. It's so easy to drive.
Four-wheel drive system's always going to be better than a mechanical four-wheel drive system as well.
Yeah, it's instant.
The IC engine is at the end of its development, probably 100 years or whatever to get to where we are now. This is just the start of the development.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Only goes from here.
Yeah.
Batteries too. I mean, you look at the battery development. When did the Model S come out with the 40? The S40 originally,
25 years ago, let's say.
And you know, it's a 100 now. You know, it's in the same size.
Yep.
It's phenomenal.
Incredible. Okay, so hopefully that's been informative. We've certainly had a best day ever.
Yeah.
Thank you to Tesla for everything. It's been an amazing day, and I hope you find that helpful.
Just before we go, we'll get a little bit of straight road and we'll do a launch and see what happens. According to the sat-nav, there's what looks like it might be straight in Irish GPS, but no, that's certainly not straight. It might be straight enough. Let's see. So, 0, 3, 2, 1.
That's ridiculous, isn't it? Crazy. Okay, check out the website, nievo.org. Thanks for watching.
Thank you. Bye.